Hey everyone, how's it going? So it's 8 a.m. here. I'm up, I've had my breakfast, and I'm ready to create a MongoDB database. So that's the next step for us. We've done what we need to do for some basic client-side validation. We've done a little bit of server-side validation too. But now we want to do some more stuff in here, in this if statement. But this is where we need to interact with the database, because what we're going to do is check that the user hasn't already signed up with this email or username before. And if we're all good, we'll go ahead and insert their details into the database. So the database we're going to use here is called MongoDB. So MongoDB is a really popular database system that people use with Node.js. It works really well with Node.js. It's quite simple to use. The syntax isn't too complicated. And it's actually what you call a NoSQL system. So it's called a NoSQL system because it's not made up of the same sort of structure that you get with a relational database system like MySQL. So there are no tables or anything like that. MongoDB uses what's known as documents, but it doesn't work with tables. It kind of works with like JSON objects instead. You'll see what that means when we start actually inserting data, because you'll be able to visualize it a bit more. But imagine it as like the tables are just JSON objects. They just store some data at different nodes. It's actually quite simple, and like I said, you'll see how that works very shortly. But yeah, and MongoDB is the database system we're going to use in this course. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and create an account for that. So just go to Google and type in MongoDB. And then let's go on the first link right here, mongodb.com. So you're going to want to click Start Free if you don't already have an account, and you're going to want to sign up. I've already signed up, so I've got to go and find the sign-in page right here, sign in. And actually, it's already remembered my sign-in details, so it's just signed me in automatically. But yeah, either register for an account, so sign up, or if you have an account already, go ahead and sign in, and you should see a page, something like this. Your page might look slightly different if you've never signed in before, like if it's your first time, because you might not have any projects. But essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to want to create a project. Now, I can't actually remember if a project is there for you when you create an account or not. So if you've just registered, you may see a project, like a project 0 or something, some sample project it's giving you. This test 1 might be. I can't remember if I created this or not. Basically though, either way, you want to create a project. So if you don't have a project there already, just go and create a project. You can do that either by clicking here and then clicking new project, or you can click back on, if I click on my name right here, it will take me back to the projects tab, and you can create a new project this way. But either way, you want to create a new project, okay? So I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll create a new project. I don't know what I want to call this. Let's call it Twitter clone. Okay. Now, we don't care about this. We don't have any of the members working with this, so we don't need to invite anybody. So let's just go ahead and click Create Project and let it do its thing. All right, we have a project. So now we need to create a cluster. Now a cluster is basically just where your database is going to sit, so don't worry too much about understanding what a cluster is exactly. MongoDB takes care of everything for you, but just know that a cluster is kind of where you're storing the database. Okay, so let's go ahead and click Build a Cluster. Now you got a bunch of options here, some of which cost money, but of course we'll go for the free one because we're cheapskates. No, that's not true. It's because we're going to do some testing with it, and why would we pay for it right now if we don't know how it even works? So let's go ahead and click on the free one, and you got a bunch of options as well. Man, this is pretty scary, I'm sure, but don't worry about it. So choose who your cloud provider is. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to choose Azure because I work at Microsoft and I'm biased. And then you can choose a data center, which region it's going to be in. I guess choose the one with a star because that's a recommended one, but maybe choose the one that's closest to you. I don't know. Basically, when you start paying for it, you can scale this out to more regions. So don't worry about it too much. It really doesn't matter. So just click any. Mine was already selected on this Virginia one, East US 2, so I'll just leave it as that. You could literally choose any one of these and any of these, and it would be absolutely fine. It wouldn't impact what we're doing at all, so choose whatever you want. This stuff can stay the same. Let me just make sure. Yep, free forever. That's what I like to hear. Let's see what else we got. No backup. We don't care about backing up right now, I guess. And then cluster name. Go ahead and give it a cluster name. I'll just call it Twitter clone cluster. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but this works. Oh, make sure I spell Twitter right. Twitter clone cluster. All right, that'll do. And then click Create Cluster. And there we go. It's creating it now. It's doing its thing. Let's just wait between 1 and 3 minutes for it to provision, as it says. Okay, our cluster has provisioned. It took a while. I think it took more than 1 to 3 minutes, but you know, it wasn't too bad. But that's great. We have it now. So I'll click on the cluster name right here, and you see a whole bunch of stuff which makes absolutely no sense to you. To be honest, I couldn't even tell you what most of this stuff means, so don't worry about this. All you need to know is that we're ready to go now. This is it. We have our cluster, and we can start using it. So if you've done my other courses, or you've taken any other courses, you might have run into MySQL databases or other relational database systems, where now the next step would be for us to go and create a table. But we don't have to do that, you'd be glad to know. Well, we kind of do need to create a table, but not in the sense that you would know. All we're essentially going to do is create a model in our code, and then when we insert to that, if there's no table there already, it will create that for us. So it's actually a whole lot more simple than you might have been expecting, but I will show you how to do that very shortly. The next thing we probably want to do is actually connect to this database.